I mean, he was a cop before, right?
I think so.
I think so.
Maybe
yeah.
I won't get along with him then.
Oh,
no. But yeah, I think he was cool. I mean, it's cool that they give him the win. I'm just tired of the whole it being so predictable that cruiserweights are beating heavyweights, and it's just so happening so often that it's just not.
Now they're probably gonna push for the IC title match. Shinsuke defending against Ali at SummerSlam, but I will predict that it's gonna be on the kickoff show.
Yeah, that's probably gonna be a kickoff match.
Yeah.
That just sounds like a kickoff match, which is kind of a shame because maybe it's good for Ali to have a kickoff match only because he's coming from 205 and just being on main roster already for him is actually a really good and a move up. It's kind of a promotion.
Right.
But for Shinsuke Nakamura, he deserves so much better. I mean, his run in NXT, his indie career. I mean, Shinsuke is just amazing. And it's funny because we were talking about King Cuerno, this guy that he's going to come to the Performance Center and maybe NXT. He's starting in the Performance Center in September. And one of the things that they mentioned about King Cuerno that they like so much and why they were bringing him to WWE is that he speaks perfect English and things like that.
Oh, wow.
And that he can do promos on his own and they don't need to give him a manager or anything like that. So maybe this is kind of one thing that's holding Shinsuke back. I wouldn't like to believe that, but it seems so because even Andrade, he's such a great wrestler. He's
an amazing
He's
wrestler.
so great at everything. I mean, even his promos in Spanish are amazing. But let's face it, his English isn't that great. And to me, maybe that's what's holding him back. But like we said about Raw yesterday, I mean, I'm hoping that they push that Rey Mysterio beef with him because they always produce really good matches. But going back to Shinsuke deserves better. And maybe he should lose the IG title so he can maybe face Kofi Kingston soon if Kofi doesn't lose it to Randy.
Huh, good point.
So maybe it's a good thing. Maybe Ali should win that title. But this was a non-title match and Ali won.
You already know what that means.
So most likely they're going to fight at SummerSlam.
Yeah.
That's usually always the thing that happens. And then this last match of SmackDown kind of had me a little upset because they were promoting it like it was going to be a tag team 3-on-3 match before they were saying OC versus New Day, OC versus New Day, get ready for SmackDown, OC versus New Day. And then they come out and it ended up being a singles match with Kofi and AJ. So I was a little disappointed. But to be fair, the match was amazing. It was actually a really good match. It was a really good match. And it's probably a dream match for a lot of people. I just wish it was at a pay-per-view, to be honest.
You think Vince McMahon changed at last minute?
Actually, yes. It's good that you bring that up. So supposedly, not even supposedly, it's been confirmed. But Vince McMahon rewrote the show 2 times before the show aired.
Huh.
And then, not only did he rewrite it 2 times before the show aired, then he wrote it during the show. While it was on, he rewrote certain parts. So a lot of things in SmackDown was just won. And actually turned out for the better because of that. And it's funny because I was seeing some Twitter posts where they were talking about, if this thing is being rewritten so many times, even during the show, that's proof that Eric Bischoff is running things.
Oh my God.
Kind of coming at Eric Bischoff about his WCW days because he was always topsy-turvy with his WCW things that he was doing. So that's funny. I find that kind of funny. But one thing I want to say about this, why it disappointed me about it being marketed as a possibly a tag match, the OC and the New Day, is that I want to see something like that. That's why we've been talking about Undisputed versus OC so much and things like that. And then the fact that both teams are holding titles amongst their entire team, it makes it even more of an interesting match. I did say before that maybe that's a match that we should see on pay-per-view. But like I said before, also that would also limit the card for the pay-per-view in the sense that 6 titles are not going to be used in defenses. Because of that triple threat match, that tag team match.
And if this is supposed to happen at Survivor Series, usually what they do, every Survivor Series, they have champions from Raw go against champions versus SmackDown.
Right. So I don't know. Maybe they will see it on SmackDown, another SmackDown or something. We'll see the 3-on-3 match, and I'm hoping we do. Vince, anybody else you see this? Hopefully. No. Book that match. That would be amazing. And last but not least, one thing I wanted to mention again about Harley Race. Rest in peace, Harley Race. Our condolences to his family and his friends.
The toast.
Toast to Harley Race. But one thing I wanted to mention about that is that a story dropped a few minutes ago about Harley Race, and it was a statement on Facebook that surprisingly a wrestler that I haven't heard of for so long. I know a lot of you haven't heard of him for so long. Trevor Murdoch, and he posted on yeah. It's funny because I was talking about Trevor Murdoch with Illuminati the other day and joking on Illuminati about Trevor Murdoch. And it's funny that his name pops up all of a sudden. But one thing a lot of people didn't realize about Trevor Murdoch, and I didn't realize this either until I did some research here, was that Trevor Murdoch actually trained in Harley Race's wrestling organization. He trained under Harley Race, and actually Harley Race helped train him himself. They actually had a close relationship. And Trevor spent a lot of time with this guy. Harley Race is actually a huge inspiration for Trevor Murdoch's career. And he posted something on Facebook talking about Vince McMahon and his connection with Harley Race. And a lot of people, they call Vince McMahon the devil. I mean, look at the puppet.
At the Firefly
Funhouse, that's definitely Vince McMahon. He's got devil horns. So a lot of people believe that Vince McMahon is the devil, but he's actually a pretty good guy. And I've heard this with other wrestlers too, where Vince McMahon would do things for them that's just astonishing. And a lot of people wouldn't believe. But I'll give the floor to McGillard here, where he's going to read the actual post from Trevor Murdoch, where he's the one who released this information. And McGillard, take it away.
All right. So this is what he posted on his Facebook. I just wanted to put this out there. Harley needed to be transferred from Atlanta to St. Louis. He needed to take a med flight because he was in rush seat. Oh, that's so sad to hear. Medicare wouldn't help him. A call was made to WWE, and 10 minutes later, it was paid for. Vince McMahon never blinked an eye. He wanted to make sure Harley was taken care of. Thank you, Vince. You gave me 2 more days with Harley. Hashtag thank you, WWE, and hashtag everyone should know.
That's amazing. That's great.
Wow.
I mean, Vince McMahon, I know he has a lot of disposable money, and some people might say that it's barely even a dent in his pocket and it's not much of a sacrifice. But that kind of action right there just speaks volumes. I mean, it shows the amount of care and respect that Vince McMahon has for his wrestlers behind in the locker room, and even his wrestlers that used to work with him, his past wrestlers, especially Hall of Famers like Harley. And I've heard of multiple stories where Vince McMahon has paid for rehabilitation. I know the rehab center, the WWE rehab center, actually accepts any past wrestlers, anybody that's ever been on the roster. If they ever need help with rehab or physical therapy or anything like that, they can go straight to the WWE center without booking any appointments, without doing anything, and walk straight in, and Vince fully pays for everything.
Oh, wow.
And I know Vince is rich and everything, but that's a sacrifice that no one has to make. This is an action that he's doing voluntarily.
His own free will.
And that's amazing for Vince to do, and it actually shows the true personality of Vince McMahon, that he's actually a very caring person, and that's amazing to hear. And that's awesome.
You think Vince McMahon could you think he could help with, Jeff Hardy and and Jimmy Uso with their problem?
What's funny? I think Vince is more willing to help Jimmy than Jeff. I mean, it's funny because every time it's good that you bring up this. I wanted to talk about this a little bit. Every time Jeff gets arrested for a DWI, DUI, Vince McMahon doesn't book him for a while. He punishes him. He does all this stuff that you won't see Jeff Hardy for a while, or you see people online just bashing the crap out of Jeff Hardy. And I love Jeff Hardy, man, and it always saddens me to see that type of stuff. Yeah. I mean, what if he's really suffering from an addiction? It's not not nice to be doing that stuff to him, because it's just gonna push him back and push him further into that addiction. Yeah. But Jimmy's gotten arrested 2 times in the last month or 2 or something like that. I know this year I've seen so many articles about Jimmy just getting arrested for the same thing: DWI, and then he shows up the next night. I mean, he showed up this week on Raw, right? On Raw, I think.
Yeah, Raw.
And everything seemed normal. No one said anything about it. No wrestlers pressured him or pushed up on him or just used it as a promo. And every time Jeff Hardy does it, I mean, I always mention this, but in TNA one time, oh my goodness, AJ Styles just tore Jeff Hardy apart backstage. It was just like, Jeff like went up to him to say what up to him or something like that, and he was just like, it's like, yo, what are you even doing here, man? Like, you don't care about this company, you don't care about wrestling, you don't blah blah blah. Like, get out of my face type stuff, and like, oh my god, I was just like, as a kid, my jaw just dropped. Like, you gonna violate Jeff like that?
And then all the promos, and all the promos that no, and I was gonna say all the promos with Samoa Joe. At Jeff Hardy.
Yeah,
oh my god.
Well, we know Samoa is just
he's just
he's reckless.
Such a savage. Maybe Jimmy has help because you know how the Samoan family is close to the McMahon.
Yeah.
Hey, I'm just predicting stuff here. I'm assuming stuff here. I don't know.
All the Samoans. And before we come to a close, we wanted to talk about one thing that McGiller wants to talk about. This one thing that Drew McIntyre released. And it was comments about the Roman Reigns attack on the end of SmackDown. That's one thing we forgot to mention. Yeah. So the end of SmackDown, it ended off with Roman backstage. He's walking around or something like that. And oh my goodness.
Yeah, he was going to get interviewed about his SummerSlam opponent.
Yeah. And right before he gets interviewed about his SummerSlam opponent, all of a sudden something just falls down like... And like it's about to kill Roman. The funny thing is that Roman's such a bad actor. I don't even know how he made this movie.
Actually, not only Roman, everybody that was back there.
That whole thing was just so cringy. That Roman grabbed the thing before it even fell on him, and it looked like he wasn't even in danger. It looked like Roman could just hold it if he really wanted. It was probably made out of styrofoam or something.
Yeah, oh my god.
And Roman just like, oh, like it just looked terrible.
And honestly, the camera angles and everything, like
it was
he just kept on switching back and forth.
Yeah,
like,
it was terrible. They were trying to hide the fact that Roman went under this thing. That whatever fell couldn't really fall on Roman. And it reminded us of the same thing that happened with Vince McMahon that one time. When that huge, first of all, a light dropped down. Boom! If that would have hit Vince, he would have been dead.
Oh, yeah.
Then after that, the stage
collapses.
Boom. Then Vince got up, he's like...
And then a huge sign.
And Vince obviously hides under something.
All you hear is Vince! Oh my god, Vince!
The acting was terrible.
Oh my god.
And that basically the same thing happened.
And this is the thing I find so funny out of all this. Somebody posted it on the WWE Instagram account. You know what? Let's take a picture of Roman suffering before we call for help.
Save him, yeah.
Yo, whoever took that picture, you a jerk.
You got the assholes. But he wasn't in any danger anyway. But it was such a terrible thing. And I think the person interviewing him was Kayla Braxton, and her reaction was just so fake. She was just
oh my god!
It was hilarious. But it was terrible acting. And I think Charlie probably would have done better.
She does better. Yeah, we love you, Charlie.
But anyway, and then the funny thing about that is that everybody was saying on Twitter that it could have been Buddy Murphy. It could have been...
Yeah, he was spotted.
Yeah, they spotted him in the back, and he had this shirt that he wore before or something, and he even had the same haircut. It could have been Buddy Murphy. But I don't think that. Earlier in the show, they had Daniel Bryan. He was supposed to announce something about like a career change or something, or some kind of change up in his whole image.
It's actually... No, it's funny that we're mentioning names because in the... I want to say in the WWE Instagram account, I know they posted it, and they posted, who could have been responsible. Actually, right here. Right. I got it right here.
Oh my God! They put 4 people.
4 people. The 4 suspects that they believe.
Why this guy? No way.
Let's see. The first one, Michael Bennett. Wait, Michael. Whoa, wow. Yo, see, I'm confusing the names.
So it's the same name.
It's the same name. Mike. No. Actually, no. I got it wrong. It's Mike Kanellis.
Why Bennett? What?
That's his actual last name.
Oh, that's why.
So, they're using Maria's last name. Sorry. Anyways, Mike.
That shows me really where's the pants in relationship. Wait a minute. Oh
anyways, it's Mike Kanellis, Samoa Joe, which obviously that's believable. Yeah, of course.
Samoa would do something like that.
Right. And actually, if I'm not mistaken, they were the crowd. They were chanting Joe. Joe.
Everybody thought it was Joe.
Then the next superstar is Shinsuke Nakamura, which makes no sense. So why would he
just be throwing people in there? It's like a Raw reunion, just throw random legends in there.
And
throw
then
some shit, spice it up a little, salt bay it up a little.
And then, ironically, the superstar we were just talking about, Daniel Bryan.
Yeah, and I think it was Daniel, only because they were trying to repackage his career, and he did the Shelton Benjamin. They were like, Daniel, what did you want to say about your career shift or whatever the hell? What do you want to say? He was just...
And that's the show, guys. That's the show.
It was terrible. But I think it was Daniel Bryan. Actually, out of all the people on the SmackDown roster, if anybody was to fight Roman Reigns and it should be entertaining, it probably would be Daniel Bryan. So I'm hoping it is. But going back to the point of this whole Drew McIntyre thing, 'cause they didn't even label him as a suspect. That's the funny thing.
That's actually surprising.
But going back to the Drew McIntyre thing, he released a video. We want to play the video for you because it's freaking hilarious.
Yes.
But basically, he was talking about WWE wanted me to make a statement. They wanted me to say whether I did it or didn't or whatever. And just listen to this thing.
Right, hopefully you guys can hear it.
This one on the bottom.
Oh, that one. Oh, come on, man. Come on.
What are you doing, my guy?
Oh, this one.
Man,
It's not
so
even
funny.
playing.
It's hilarious. It's not playing.
It's not playing.
Anyway, he basically was saying, I don't give a damn about this guy. Why would I even do that? Blah, blah, blah. And then his wife calls him in the background. She's like, are you coming to bed? He's like, you know what? If there's anything I'm going to put to bed.
I'm going to find that video.
Like
I'm finding that video. I'm sorry, yo. You guys have to, if you guys haven't seen it or heard it, you guys, I'm finding it right now.
It's funny, man. It's funny. But yeah, he was just like, if I'm gonna put any rumors to bed, I'm putting this one to bed before I put something else to bed or something like that. Like, oh my God, Drew, this is not PG. What are you?
And we have discussed this. Vince McMahon has decided that the PG era stays.
Yeah.
So, come on, Drew.
Come on, Drew. What are you doing?
You know better.
Twitter, but what are you doing?
Oh man.
Funny as hell. That would have been a nice thing, but we've seen Drew fight Roman Reigns way too many times.
I think I got it right here.
I don't think that would be too entertaining to see again. But probably one of the best competitors for Roman Reigns, right? I mean, he's so big and everything. Why not?
Right. And why isn't this?
And they're not doing anything else with Drew, man. Let's face it. Drew deserves a way better career.
He deserves to be in the WWE Championship picture.
Yeah, he deserves to be somewhere.
If not there, Universal.
Actually, Universal would
make more sense.
I would love to see him versus Brock Lesnar. That would be probably the best match for Brock Lesnar at this point. Definitely.
Oh man. Let's see.
But yeah, that video was funny as hell. But anyways, another thing that we can talk about real quick also is that Impact, all of a sudden, not only did they get Rhino, but now they have Tommy Dreamer. And I was asking McGillard, I was saying, why was Tommy Dreamer on AEW if all of a sudden now he's on Impact? Is it a double contract? Is he not signed with AEW? And we checked AEW's roster yesterday, and he's not listed on the roster. So I'm assuming that was that Double or Nothing thing was just a one-time
like in a one-time appearance,
something just kind of to push ticket sales and things like that, which is cool, I guess. Not only that, after that Tommy Dreamer statement about the whole Paul Heyman thing, I won't go into that again. We already went into that on our past podcast on Anchor. Go check that out.
Yes.
But maybe it's a little too controversial to have Tommy Dreamer after putting that kind of statement. Impact doesn't care. They'll take anybody at this point. They're doing so bad.
Well, going back to the McIntyre thing, for some reason the video's not playing, but I could say to what he did say.
Yeah.
So this is what McIntyre said, and I quote, "I'm going to put this to bed right now. 1, I don't give a damn. 2, I wouldn't have missed it. 3, I really don't give a damn. And 4, has anyone watched the product the past? I don't know. 5, 6, 7 months? Question mark. I love beating up Roman Reigns and bragging about it, and I will do it to his face. And 5, do you see those damn floating, let me see. Do you see those dams floating around that I give? No, you don't, because there ain't any." And then, just like Michael just said, his wife was calling him over, and like he kind of had like that Shelton Benjamin look, where like she was calling, he was like this. And then he said that non-PG quote, whatever. But yeah.
Oh, that was funny, man. If you guys get a chance, go check it out. Go check out the video if somebody's not playing, but
it's on his
funny
Twitter.
As hell. Go check it out on his Twitter. And go follow us at Twitter. That's a whole thing. But anyway, guys, that was our show for SmackDown. Tune in for the next episode where we're going to talk a little bit more about some wrestling news that dropped. I know our last episode, the video got cut early, but you could go to the Anchor and check out the entire thing of all the stuff we were talking about. We talked about King Cuerno. We talked about Harley Race. We even talked about some other things that's going on in WWE and some other places too. Another thing we could talk about here as well was the whole AEW thing with calling up CM Punk, and CM Punk just said like he's tired of this stuff. He can't get away from wrestling as much as he tries, and he doesn't know if it's a gift and a curse and stuff. But I'll say this again, like I always say, man. I don't even want to see CM Punk back in wrestling, but a lot of people disagree with me there, and you can go tell us that in the comments if you like, and then we'll respond to you about it. But I'm just so sick of CM Punk, and I wasn't even too impressed with that pipe bomb that he delivered. So you know what? Maybe it's for the better.
In a way, I just can't help but feel bad for him because, you know, like you said, he can't get away from that one question that everybody keeps bothering him. Are you coming back? When are you coming back?
Yeah.
The guy's made it clear that he doesn't want to go back to wrestling.
He's not coming back.
He's not coming back. Sorry to disappoint you guys, but he's not coming back.
Don't go back to UFC either. You're going to get destroyed. My God. Was it even UFC or was it MMA or something? Some kind of other company.
It was MMA. I don't know.
But he got destroyed.
He got destroyed.
In
in shorter words, let me just put it to everybody that could understand this. CM Punk is not # all in.
Yeah.
Just saying.
Oh my God. Thank goodness. But anyways, guys, thanks for tuning in again. And just before we end this video, we want to talk about Best Sell Challenge again, guys. Push that hashtag.
Do you guys want to see me hit this guy? No, we can't do that. That's actually violence right there, and you know,
YouTube will ban us for that.
Yeah, so you know, we're not gonna do that yet.
But go check out our Best Sell Challenge hashtag. It's on Twitter. It's on Facebook. It's on.
If you guys seen the last video that we posted, I did what I call now the McGiller chop.
Oh my God.
At Illuminati.
Oh my God, and destroyed his insides. I mean, one of his organs must have exploded because somehow he started bleeding out. Go check it out. I don't want to talk too much about it.
Right. The only true question is he gonna retaliate
or is he gonna retire?
No. Is he gonna quietly retire?
Yeah. That's so terrible. Why would The Rock do that?
Yo.
Freaking douchebag.
Bastard.
This guy is full of himself, man. Anyway, thank you for tuning in, guys. Go follow us on Instagram, as always, at Get These Facts NYC. Check out all our links for all our podcast forums, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Breaker